Thank you for joining me. Sunday, December 30th, 2012. Just going to get into a little bit of the news today and share my thoughts with you. Um, I opened up one here. This is from WorldNet Daily. The NAFTA superhighway is back? How did that happen? Um, Something really creepy about having to go on a road and seeing a toll booth and making it look like a border, like there's like armed security and like dogs and all this craziness. And I could imagine like if you want to drive on the road, you're gonna have to like pay a fee. And I haven't really looked into this stuff myself too many times, but I've heard Alex Jones talk about this stuff a lot. And here's like pretty much the first article I've ever seen about it. So, and my computer is kind of lagging. It's by this is written by Jerome Corsi, WND exclusive. It's back. Texas and superhighway deal with Spain. Perry signs agreement 3 years after public opposition halted project. See, if that right there doesn't like let you know that there is like an agenda that you don't know about and that you're not invited to, like the after party of, you could, I don't know, man. You need to do more research. It's like when Barack Obama says, "I'm gonna get the troops home." What was that, like in 2008? He was like, when he got inaugurated and when he was running for president the first time, "I'm gonna bring the troops home." Remember how everyone thought he was gonna be like the change that we wanted to see. He was gonna get the economy back. Not that the American people think it's on them. We expect the government to do everything for us here. This is America now. We don't do things ourselves. We let the government do it for us. You see, that's why people that like to work hard, they get shunned. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're a sucker, especially by the culture. The gangster-loving culture, telling you the working man's a sucker, telling you that working is it's just not worth it, or it's just an excuse in my eyes, it's an excuse for your laziness. You're lazy if you don't want to go work, man. And that's why our country treats people who are hardworking like scum, and then we cater to all the lazy people who don't want to work. I was actually hearing John Hagee talk about that this morning on TVN, saying that the guy that doesn't work is like, it's bad, man. It's bad. It's bad to not want to work. It's good to be fruitful. It's good to be going out and communing with people and giving your, putting in, what you can into your, your neighborhood, everyone around you, helping everyone out, not just being some troll locked in your cave and not doing anything. And the new generation of people is just a bizarre thing, man. I mean, this is the age of lies. This is the age of hiding behind your lies. And you guys out there that are called by wisdom and know the truth, man, you guys know what I'm talking about here. We live in a time where a lot of people put up a lot of deceit as they start deceiving themselves, and they start believing their own deception. A lot of people. New York, believe it or not, the Trans-Texas Corridor is back. Very quietly, Governor Rick Perry and the Texas Department of Transportation, or TxDOT, signed in October a comprehensive development agreement to construct a toll road redevelopment of Interstate 35 north of downtown Fort Worth. TxDOT signed the 50-year deal with the NTE Mobility Partners Segments 3 LLC, a U.S.-based wholly owned subsidiary of Cintra. The Spanish-owned construction company TxDOT picked Cintra in 2005 to build what some critics called the NAFTA superhighway. Chris Linnencott, the former TxDOT information officer who is currently acting as the new public relations man for Cintra in the United States, also announced TxDOT signed a contract in September with Cintra to build a privatized State Highway 130 toll road in San Antonio. Perry may never have abandoned his original idea to build what during the presidential administration of George W. Bush was known as the Trans-Texas Corridor Project. and 4,000 mile network of privately built and operated toll roads to crisscross the state, with Spanish development company Sintra scheduled to earn the tolls under 50-year leases. In 2009, Perry scrapped the TTC plan after a series of combative town hall meetings throughout the state showed TXDOT it faced massive taxpayer resistance. But now the plan apparently is being implemented in small chunks without the fanfare of divulging a statewide blueprint Perry and TXDOT may still have tucked away in their back pockets. This article goes on and on. That's just one article today. Well, you know that like I said, things like that, these articles that tell you like, oh yeah, you thought it was gone, it's back, haha. Just like all the gun grabbing, just like the guilt tripping. The next thing they're gonna guilt trip you for is carbon taxes. I wouldn't be surprised, because you breathe too much. How dare you breathe my air while we chop down rainforests all day? You know, you need to hold your breath. You're not worthy of breathing. You know, there's elite people trying to breathe here too. You're making it harder for them. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the next guilt trip, because the guilt trip you're getting right now is it's totally funny how the left knows nothing about guns. They're calling for guns. They have no idea what they are about, what type of ammo they take or anything. They're just calling for the most random guns to get taken off, like, I mean, military issued guns, man. It's just like, it doesn't make any sense. And they blame it on the gun. They blame the shootings, which, by the way, they don't report. If you're watching Fox and you're watching all the mainstream trader media, they're pretty much, they don't report good things that happen with guns, like people saving other people. But they will report when a kid, when an elementary school gets shot up, of course, because you cannot pass up an opportunity to you know, you can't let a tragedy go to waste, as, you know, some elitist had said. You gotta take advantage of it. You know, there's guns being shot. Ooh, you know, like, this is America now, where you know, you're a slave, you're mentally a slave. You're not physically a slave yet, but you're mentally a slave if you are not aware and facing the truth of everything that's going on. And everything that you look at's a lie. I just read an article about fossil fuels, and just like the latest development of people saying that you know, that it doesn't come from animals and plants that, you know, through the process of time, you know, died, and they're fossils, ancient fossils, you know. They're saying it doesn't even come from that no more. You see how everything you knew or thought you knew is just becoming unraveled, unveiled. There's a truth behind it. It's you know, it's you gotta stay on your toes, man. You gotta know, you gotta be discerning of what is good and what is bad, man. You can't just be accepting everything like the yuppie does. The yuppie wants to be civil. The yuppie doesn't want to ever get in an argument with you, because he wants to be a yuppie. He wants to agree with you about everything, because all he cares about is society. He's a sociopath. The common yuppie's a sociopath. He cares way too much about having friends. He covets his friends way too much. Like, I love my friends. I have good friends, but I don't, you know what I mean? I try to live my life, you know, the way Christ taught me how to live. Regardless of what you guys say. First thing I open in my mail is usually some atheist saying something to me, arguing back and forth. It never gets old. John Hagee this morning was talking about atheist, like anyone who just, you know, mocks God. You know what I mean? If only you knew what you were doing, my friend, like, you would look into it instead of just believing rumors and lying. Your academic liberal teachers that are teaching you about the Big Bang Theory and that you don't need God. You guys are funny. You guys are hilarious, man. You guys want certainty and you want security so bad that you're willing to lie to yourselves for it. It's sad. But whatever, man. I'm just a Christian. What do I know? I believe in the magic man in the sky, you know what I mean? You have to be, you know, mentally ill to believe all that. It doesn't matter to me what you think, man. I know that I cannot make real what I know to you. All I can tell you is the best thing I ever have in my life, and I wouldn't, you know, give that up for anything in the world, to be in the presence to be in the Holy of Holies, man. You knew, whew. But, you know, it's not that I'm perfect. It's not that I like to be informed because I'm a tough guy. I just like, I just answer the call. You know, the righteous have the back of the Almighty, man. And if you do the right thing, even though the doing the right thing sometimes make people turn against you, your government, your fellow man, know that God knows you, man, and that, you know, like, there's a bigger plan in the works for you. If you end up getting in trouble, you know, I always encourage you to be watching your police officers. Make sure that they know that you're watching them in your community, man. Make sure that that your officials, your politicians in your community know that you're watching them to do the right thing. We got to put pressure on the government, man. That's the way that we're going to get the change that we want, because we have to be involved again. If we're not involved in politics, then yeah, they're going to be lining their pockets all day. Nobody's watching them. So, you know what I mean? You got to go watch them. You got to go give them pressure. Let them know that you're getting watched by the good American, God-fearing people, man, to do the right thing. And it's not to do the right thing to be like, to be Mr. Goody Two-Shoes, to be like Mr. Perfect, because you think, you know, that's what it is. No, you do the right thing to honor God, man. You do the right thing because that's what honors God. And that's the bottom line, okay? God tells you to be compassionate toward one another. And trust me, just because I'm Christian and I believe in everything doesn't mean that I am under like some phony perspective, man. You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, that these things, the truth, it hurts, man. The truth, you don't want to believe it sometimes if you're living in a world where you put up a lot of deception around you, a lot of walls to live in your own little candy land. It's going to break your walls down, man. It's going to, going out there and testing yourself every day, believing in the Word, it's going to test you. It's going to test you, and that's what it's for. You know, it's to bring out the gold in you, man. And those that don't want to be tested, you just want to display and portray the tough guy, but you don't practice it, man. You dumb down gangster culture. It's because of you morons that the gun grabbers want our guns, because they think everyone's all like, everyone bought into the gangster culture that they shove down your throat on TV and on the radio. Sorry, I'm not one of you dribbling zombies, but that's why they want our guns. That's what they're blaming all the shootings on. It's like, oh, it's the culture of the American people. They're in love with guns and murder. It's like, no, we're not. You just shove it down our throat. You liberal media, Satan worshippers, you guys are the ones throwing it down everyone's throat. But it doesn't mean everyone's listening to you. You're just trying to use it as an excuse. You winged it. You called it, and it wasn't, you know what I mean? Piers Morgan is out of his mind right now. Doing what he's doing here in this country. He needs to be deported and put in jail, in my opinion. But that's pretty much it for the news today. Keep checking back, the Ant-Man channel. Thank you for joining me today. God bless.